Hello everyone. I have a fun little kit that I have designed, and I was needing a little bit of time to be creative. So I decided to do the video a little bit early. So this is what we're making, and this is the kit. I know it looks pretty tiny, huh? So these are actually made with wire completely, and then the beads are put on there. But this one is done on a bangle bracelet with the beads, and they're all different. They can be just as wild and crazy as you want them. They're a lot of fun, and they're really cute on. This is the only one I can get on, but it's really cute on, so they're fun. I have the video zoomed in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. So in the kit, you'll have 2 little coils of wire. One might be enough, but it's always better to have more than you need. You'll have a bangle bracelet, and I have 72 of these different bracelets. So some will be rippled, and some will be gold and silver and brass and all colors. So what I chose is this Australian jasper. You get 5 beads. A few of the kits have different colored beads. This wire is a 22 gauge. And so I'm going to just uncoil it, and I'm just pulling it like this because I kind of want to get the kinks out as best as I can. That's why it's done in a round circle instead of folded around something, so there is no kinks. This is really an easy project. Even if your fingers aren't super strong, this is still pretty easy. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to fold this down like that. And you will probably need a pair of wire cutters or very strong but old scissors. You definitely don't want to go get a pair of good shears out for this. And then you're going to snip that off, covering it so that if it flicks, it doesn't go somewhere where it's not supposed to. So we've got that pulled down, wrapped on there, and I got a little bit of a kink right here. So I'm going to try to straighten that out. And I'm going to put the first bead on. And when I'm working on this and I've got this long tail, if I'm sitting at a table like I am, I always take my tail down and stick it under the table, so at least it's not in my way too bad. Because it's kind of hard not to have it in your way somewhat, because it's going to do that. So when you get a couple wraps on there. And I like to take it and just bend it so that it'll lay down where it's supposed to. You can do it with the bead, but sometimes the bead doesn't give you the definition that you want. And then I'm going to take this, and I'll be pulling this through. And I'm not sure zoomed out is what we need to do, so, or zoomed in. So let's do this. So I've wrapped it around. Now I'm going to just kind of pinch this in place, and I'm going to wrap it again and pull this through. You want to wrap it at least 2 times. Now there's a couple of things you can do. I'm caught up on my own bracelet. Sorry about that. You can take this and you can wrap around this. It just adds another element to it. Or you can just go on to your next one. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it around, and then I'm just going to wrap it. I have 5 beads. So I will probably put this one on about right. Well, you can lay it down and kind of guess on where you're going to put them, so you can kind of get an idea. If you want to measure, you can. I don't measure well. So wrap it a couple times to get it back down to the spot where the next bead goes. And then we're just going to put on the next bead, if we can find the hole. Slide that bead down. Okay, I'm going to bring this wire up like this. And then I'm going to use the bead this time to make its bend, so I get it kind of where the bead will be centered on there. Now you want to give it a little slack because they are stones, and it is possible to pull it down too tight and break the stone. I have not done that, but it is a possibility. So I'm wrapping this a couple of times, I tend to pull it all towards me. And then I'm going to take this and I'm just going to wrap it around there and then wrap it down to the next spot where there's going to be another bead. And yeah, it's kind of a messy project as far as the wire goes. It just can be belligerent. So I think I probably need to get one more wrap. And then I'm going to add another bead. And on the first one, what I did is just bent it, used my fingernail to hold it in place. This time, and then this time I used the bead. This time I'm going to use the bead again because it actually worked pretty well. And you can always flip your beads and see which side you like the best. So I'm going to give this a wrap. And then another, and now I'm going to go under it and come back and just wrap it again. Trying to keep that light from blinding. So I'm just going to wrap it until I get to where I want to be, and I think we have two beads, and we put one there and one there, we'll be good. So I'm going to put on the other bead. And I'm going to bend it so it kind of lays flat where I want it. Give it a couple of wraps. And then I'm going to wrap under it. By wrapping under it, you're kind of making a base for it to not rock and roll. Now I'm just going to wrap. I'm wrapping this one a little bit looser so that I maybe won't have to use that other piece of wire. And this is a copper wire, solid copper wire. So my fingers are getting kind of dirty. And bend that down. Give it a wrap. Of course, it's much easier when it's short. Yes. Much easier. And I'm not going to come back around to cut out on the top this time because this will give me just enough wire to get down to this end. And then if you've got the jewelry tools, you might use them and help push it in. But if you don't, we're going to find something that works, okay? So those aren't, yes, these are the ones I don't like very much. So we're going to take, and I'm going to cut this off because I can kind of see exactly where it needs to be. I'm going to cut that off. Again, I'm catching the wire so it doesn't pop up in my eyes. And I'm going to use this old pair of scissors. You could use a pair of tweezers if you got a good kind of strong pair of tweezers. And then you're going to take this and just pinch it, maybe, and give it a curly cue until you get it up there, and you can see how it's right there. And to make sure you don't snag on it, press it down and maybe even take it, I hope you can see this okay. I'm going to pull it out just a little bit further and go under that wire. So I want to go between the stone and the bracelet instead of the bracelet and the wire. There we go. So now that little end is tucked in, and in a way it's kind of decorative. You could actually brought that up and put a curly cue on top of the bead if you wanted, and then it's fit to be worn. Now this is way too small for me. The box of bangles that was gifted to us, the foundation was, yeah, for normal people's wrists and hands. Mine are kind of big, but that's the end of the bracelet. I'll go ahead and put this one on so you can see again. And not sure, but I think this one will fit too. A little bit snugger, but it, so you can kind of see how much fun they would be. So I hope you enjoyed this quick little tip on how to make a fun bangle bracelet, or how to decorate a bangle bracelet you may already have. And you will see these kits in the October auction on the Defy channel. So thanks for watching. Bye-bye.